Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Monday, Labor Day in the USA, September the 5th, years 2022. Let's talk trading. Trading is all about you. Part 4 with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and different from Walmal's. Walmal, welcome back from vacation.
Oh, thank you. And I'll just add a little bit in there. Like and subscribe to this video if you find it helpful.
Yeah. Okay. So, I've been talking to the boys and girls and non-binary traders out there that trading is, all about each individual trader. It's got so much to do with you and what's going on between your ears and behind your eyeballs.
Yeah, I'd agree with that 100%. It really is all about you. I know I've said this in a lot of videos in the past with you, TRO, but it's absolutely true. It's all about you because, things that work for me may not work for you, and what things that work for you may not work for me, and things that you're good at, I'm not, and things that I'm good at, you're not. And that's just, we're all individually, uniquely created, and because of that, we're going to go and excel at different things, and we're going to not excel at other things. But the great thing is, what we can do is we look to go and excel at the things that we're good at, and then mitigate the damages that we cause to ourselves on the things we're not so good at. We have to go and develop a plan around that. So I think I was thinking about this. You told me that what the topic was. So I was away all last week, so I wasn't paying attention to your videos. But you told me what your topic was, and I was thinking about it. And I think the first step. I'm going to be very pragmatic, if that's okay with you. But I think the very first thing that we as traders need to do, maybe even before we place our very first trade, is we have to do a complete self-assessment of ourselves. We need to go and know what our personality are, what impacts our personality, what causes us to do things, what causes us to go and, do things that, in everyday life. Don't even look at it from a trading perspective. Look about it, what causes you to do things that are positive? What causes you to do things that are negative? What are the things that actually influence what you do? And you need to go and write those things down and fully understand what those things are. And the reason why that's important is because if you are able to do that, then you can go and say, okay, now we're going to go and take this and bring it to the trading table. And when we bring it to the trading table or trading screen, we can go and say, okay, these are some things that I know are going to affect the way I go and trade. And knowing that, I can make better judgments. I can be more objective. Am I jumping into this trade because I tend to go and jump into things quickly, or am I jumping into this trade because I fully analyze, because that's what my person's personality is? Oh, if I know I jump into things too quickly, what things have I put in place to go prevent myself from jumping in too early? And I'll tell a story on you if you don't mind. And one of the things that you tend to do is that, and you haven't done this lately, but you would tend, as soon as the new hour came in, you would jump into the trade right away. Immediately, you jump into a trade, seeing that initial movement that you see at the very beginning of the hour. And, you were very, very impetuous with that. And then what you do is you put a rule in that I'm not trading for the first minute or 5 minutes. I'm not sure what the actual rule is that you put in place, but it prevented you from jumping in too early. And we need to understand those things about our personality.
Yeah, I don't trade the first minute of the hour
Yeah,
usually.
and that's a good thing, And the thing is, I do trade the first minute of the hour, but that's just a difference in personality, a difference in the way that we look at things, and not how we look at things, but a difference in how we react to things. It's not a fault of yours. It's just it's a reality of understanding who you are, and then being able to take advantage of that. Go and say, okay, I know it's something I do. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put a roadblock in it and prevent me from going and doing it. Will you miss out on some good trades? Yeah, you certainly will. But at the same time, you're not going to jump into some trades that you probably shouldn't have jumped into.
Well, it's funny because we've got 1 minute to the top of the hour, so we can actually take a look at that.
Yeah, for me, I mean, I'm always looking at. I obviously like the hour blocks because that's how most of my trading is based on. But for me, it's the type of thing where okay, yeah, it's the beginning of the hour. I know that the pound likes to go and move in a particular direction and reverts off that direction. Okay, well, I just need to go and be able to take advantage of that, and that's how I look at it. That's fine. That's just a different way of doing it, and we both can go into do completely different things, but still have the same. It's funny because you and I trade differently, but we trade the same. And what I mean by that is that we basically have the same idea of how we're going to go make a trade. By the way, I did go and jump in immediately at the beginning of this hour. I went long, just so everybody was aware of that. I probably shouldn't have jumped in, but that's okay. Okay, I'm out. Okay, I got 2 pips. But but that's just me. I'm willing to go and take that chance and just do that. But at the same time, I don't look at the beginning of the hour as any different than any other minute on the hour. And so I have to go and have all my other things in place, before I go and take the trade. And so the reason why I took that trade, I'll just go and elaborate on that if you don't mind, is because we had a flip-flop box where, we went from a negative or a down candle to a positive candle. And I saw that as an opportunity to go and look for a short little break. And the reason why is because I know that at the beginning of most hours, it will go and jump up 2 or 3 pips before it decides, which direction it's going to go in. So you just follow on to whatever the previous candle was, and that's why I did what I did, and I was able to pick up 1.9 pips to be exact. But that's why I did what I did.
Yeah, so basically price turn, it went red, green, or in my particular case on this screen, black, white. So then you were saying I'll take the continuation.
Exactly right, and that's what I did. So I actually got in at like 2 seconds before the first minute of the hour, and that it was just a quick, easy trade. Now, of course, somebody said, "Yeah, but look at how many pips you left on the table. You would have stayed in that trade. You would have been up what? I guess right now, let me go and look at this. You'd be up, 5. You could have been up five pips. Yeah, you could have been, but that's not what my trade was. And again, that comes down to knowing who you are, knowing your personality, because at the same time, for me, it's just better off to go and, take 2 pips and put it in my pocket, and just be happy with that. I only got to do that 5 times and, successfully 5 times and, during the day, and I'm done for the day, so that's the great thing about doing it that way.
Right. And I put the flip-flop screen up here. In fact, I need to get some of these indicators out. And actually, all of these will be in the mother load. But the old TRO bar stats FF for flip-flop, I mean, I wrote that indicator. I think that's an old one. Let's see. Does it say when? Nope, I guess it doesn't say when. That's weird. I think that's like somewhere around 2008 or 9. It's an old one.
Right. But the thing is, it can be, and I think there's something with what you just said that's really, 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 really cool about what you just said. It's 2008, 2009. Okay. Well, guess what? It still works. And that's the thing. Trading hasn't really changed. It's still all those things from the old days. They still work. And so, but at the same time, why do people move away from them? Well, I think part of the reason why people move away from things is, For me, okay, I'll talk about me personally. Why do I move from one system potentially to another system? And I don't do it on a daily basis. I'll do it over a period of 6 months, 9 months, something like that. But it's because I know my personality. I tend to get bored. That's just who I am. It's like if you saw the movie Flash with the squirrel in it, that's me. And it's you're just constantly looking for something different. And I know that that's my personality. So knowing that, I'm always looking to learn. So what do? I go and continue trading what I'm trading to make money. If I see something else, something that maybe you came up with or I came up with, somebody else came up with, I'll sit there and I'll start looking at that and seeing, is there some type of, way to go and make money off of that? That'll be a new way to keep myself, engaged in what I'm doing. Now, that's probably not the best way to go and look at things for most people, but that's my personality. If I'm not doing that, I can't stay focused. So the most important thing, or one of the most important things about trading, is you got to stay focused. A better way of doing it would be, like you say all the time, it says, once you figure out what's working, just wash, rinse, repeat. That would be the better way of doing it. But for me, it's not the best way. And that's, again, knowing your personality.
Well, you were talking about, what makes you do certain things. And one of the things I think you need to know is what makes you go on tilt, gets you upset, um, ticks you off, makes you mad, or however you want to say it. But the real thing is what things are out there that make you choose to react that way because um, some people go, well, you ticked me off. Well, it's like, no, you chose to get ticked off. Either they
Right.
said something, did something, or didn't do something, or didn't say something. And I guess something that can really be a mirror is what kind of driver are you?
Exactly.
um, it's funny because when I drive sometimes, um, it's it's like I want people to move out of my way. Especially, since I live in a rural area, we've got a lot of single lane, you know, highways where there's the double yellow lines you can't pass. You get behind somebody that doesn't want to even do the speed limit, you might be stuck for 5 minutes or longer. And
Yep, you're right.
especially like if I'm in the Miata, it's like I want to go. And and I have a tendency where especially if there's usually not that much traffic, so if I see a car up ahead, I've got to catch that car. And then it's like, okay, now,
It's a competition.
well, yeah, it's just one of those things because, and then there's like certain highways, might be say 10, 15 miles of twists and turns. And the whole idea is to go as hard as I can, but never use the brake, use the throttle, control the vehicle with the throttle. And then wind up having to hit the brakes because some idiot in front of me isn't is putting brakes on a corner. It's like you don't need to put the brakes on the corner. If you would have lifted 100 feet ago, you could have rolled right through this corner.
It's funny that you say that because that does line up with trading to a certain extent, and the idea that there's nothing wrong with the way you're driving. There's nothing wrong with the way the other guy is driving. You're both driving the same road, and the ultimate goal is to get from point A to point B without the car winding up in the ditch, right?
Right.
And so,
Or into another
we all
car.
have
Yeah.
but we all have different methodologies to go and do that. And what we need to do, again, I'm going to point you right back at personality again. We need to figure out what our personality is so that we can go and roll with it.
Yeah, on the front window, I want to have a big sign that says move over. In the back, I want to have one that says back off.
Exactly.
But you know what? The fastest 15 minutes in trading is over again. So, fellow traders will probably revisit this topic. Maybe just keep going since Walmal was gone for the week. I'm sure he can chime in with a few more things. So, when you're trading, just always remember, never forget, it's not what you trade, It's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.